Hello guys, good evening. It's me Jonathan ulit. Ito panoorin natin yung hindi mo na siya paranormal. Kaya ito yung sa Watts family kung alam niyo yun. Tagal na rin ito eh, 6 years ago yata. Hindi ako nagkakamali. Yung parang murder niya yung pamilya niya. Ito, maganda to. Maganda to. Okay, samahan ko kayo and samahan niyo rin ako. Enjoy!
Shortly after the Frederick Police Department received a call from the drama began shortly after the Frederick Police Department received a call from Nicole Atkinson, the best friend of Shannon Watts. She had arranged to drive Shannon into town that same day for a pregnancy checkup, but there was no answer when she knocked at the door, nor any response to her text messages or phone calls. After noticing her shoes were still at the front door, she became concerned and called 911.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town
So ito yung babae, no, out of town daw sila nung asawa ni Chris. So siya pa yung naghatid. Ito yung naghatid doon sa babae. Nag-drop sa bahay. Di ba? Gets nyo ba? Siguro na-gets nyo yun, no? Nagtaka siya, ba't di daw sumasagot sa call, ganyan. Tapos ando pa yung sapatos sa harap ng bahay. Kaya nagtaka siya, tumawag siya ng 911.
business trip this weekend.
Right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9. And I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day right in the front
So
door.
kaya pala pumunta siya ulit doon sa bahay, parang may check-up yata yung babae, yung asawa ni Chris. May check-up, kaya pumunta siya ulit dito para pick upin sana yung babae. Buntis kasi, 15 weeks. Ano nangyari? Bakit na forward?
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay. What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. Well, my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her... If she's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. He said like 5 minutes.
It's not a sure sign of guilty conduct, yet the fact that Chris made the officer wait for his return would have most likely alerted some minor suspicion. In normal circumstances, a husband receiving a call from the police saying they were concerned about the safety of their pregnant wife and children, in most cases, would have given them permission to immediately kick the door down. It's a truly somber awareness to
Oo nga naman, no? Di ba? Parang pulis na yung nagsabi na nawawala yung asawa mo. Kalmado ka pa. Totoo nga naman na hintayin pa daw si Chris dumating. Parang ganon. So, hindi pa nila hinayaan na, sige, pasukin nyo na yan kahit may masira or ano. Para lang makita yung asawa niya tsaka 2 anak niya.
know that the man stepping out of the car had only a very short time ago dumped his infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
Scott, how you doing? How's it going? So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that
She would drive? Okay.
The familiar routine for anyone checking for someone's presence inside a house, whether it be an emergency or otherwise, is to immediately call out to them for instantaneous reassurance. Chris remains silent, but instead feels the need to examine his wife.
Oo nga, no? Di mo lang tumawag si Chris na parang, ano tawag doon? Hindi siya yung nagsisigaw-sigaw na tawagan niya asawa niya, tawagan niya anak niya, para sure lang na nasa bahay sila. Ang kalma niya.
Wife's car before subtly sneaking through the internal garage door. He then disappears for 1 minute and 7 seconds before letting the neighbors and police officer inside. Only Chris will know what he carried out during that time period, but it's safe to assume that his curious behavior was not going unnoticed, made evident by the unsettled gaze of Nicole as he opens the door.
Mind if I come in, Chris?
There were multiple key moments captured from inside the house, which may not have been noticed immediately by the officer, but would have no doubt been gathered by forensics upon further investigation. The most overt peculiarity was Chris's interaction with his phone. The guise of his thumb movement would have given the impression he was texting someone, which would have seemed very peculiar, as the normal response would be to frantically call people rather than text given the circumstances.
tama.
Hindsight gives us a clearer picture of Chris's introversion, which is that he was most likely using his phone to avoid eye contact and progressive dialogue with the officer.
What time do you leave the day?
What time I leave there? Come
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
Alright. And was Shannon here then?
Yes.
Ano siya? Oh, kalmado talaga siya eh. Di ba? Hindi siya nagpanik na nawawala yung asawa niya.
Does she usually watch the kids, or do you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids at her high school.
Okay. Do you guys have any kind of issues, marital issues, or
We're going through separation.
you are? And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most
Civil.
part, or?
Tumawa pa siya.
Additionally, we are presented with the subtle cues of Chris's forethought cover story, being that his wife simply ran off with the kids after a breakdown in the marriage.
all the girls' blankies are gone. Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
It's on the nightstand next to her brother. Picked up here.
The rest of Chris's conduct could be analyzed and dissected in various ways, and it would be easy to pick at certain oddities in body language and link them with signs of guilt. Yet, without the hindsight we have now, his behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservant neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a semi-personal level, and could analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
Rocking back and forth. He never loads his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently.
Yeah. He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. He's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did. He's very, he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
This was just after the moment he had shown both Chris and the officer his surveillance footage of that same morning, capturing only Chris leaving the house after loading multiple unidentified things into his truck.
But yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a here turn. So unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out.
Although not fully incriminating, as Shannon and the kids could have left through the back entrance, this was an extremely detrimental piece of evidence, and would have no doubt been extolled by forensics and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following day, Chris, for some bizarre reason, agreed to be interviewed by 2 separate news stations, where he came across as extremely unimpassioned and detached from the alarming nature of the situation.
Like when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like she wasn't here, kids weren't here. I have no idea like where they went. Right now it's, you got K9 units, the sheriff's department, everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like where did she go? Like once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on. Like if she's vanished, like I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see those kids just running, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
This could have been construed as shock trauma, where a person will turn numb and retreat into themselves as a means of escape. Yet the viewers watching this live from home were probably thinking what we as the retrospective audience already know. He was called in for questioning 4 hours later.
Galaw siya ng galaw, no? Parang hindi siya, na may pag-eye contact. Grabe, minurder mo yung 3. Pamilya mo yun. 2 bata, tsaka isang asawa mo. Tapos buntis pa.
Let's do this. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying kids, I'm sorry. The kids in your life. I know you're going through a lot, so I'm not going to keep you here all night. Just tell me exactly what you remember, and I'll take notes about where we can go.
Okay. So this 1:48 a.m.
Let me switch the chairs. Okay. That's when they come knocking. When they come knocking, I gotta use that key.
One of the oldest and most commonly used techniques is for the interrogator to sit between the door and the suspect. This is for the purpose of heightening the feelings of isolation and dependence. It's an indirect subliminal message, letting Chris know that the only way out of that room is through the detective. It's an excellent tool for stripping away confidence, thus increasing the telling signs and body language when information is fabricated.
4 a.m. That's when my alarm goes off for work, and I'm seeing get dressed, brush my teeth, everything I do upstairs.
Okay.
About 4:15. That's when I get back, slide right into bed next to her, and start having a conversation with her about having the house up for sale and talking about it, like actually proceeding with the separation.
Okay.
And obviously it gets pretty emotional, like we're talking about, like we felt the disconnection was there, like falling out of love. And trying to stay together, maybe just for the kids' sake, but we're realizing that doing like our homework, it's not, most of the time that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So that's when I got home, I opened the garage door and we went inside the house and looked everywhere. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, nowhere to be found. Shanann's wedding ring's on her nightstand, her phone's still on the couch, her purse is still there, the medicine for the kids is still there, the car seat is still there, and there's no sign of them anywhere.
Okay.
I was just hoping that, I mean, left all the lights on in the house, I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door. But
Yeah,
nothing, but nothing happened.
What do you think?
10 p.m. siya humiga. Hindi daw siya matulog ang 2 a.m. 4 hours. Kung ako hindi ako matutulog dyan. Kung talagang nawawala, di ba? Hindi ka mag-stay sa bahay, maghahanap ka ng na hanapin sila.
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, but after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the news, all the K-9 units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But it's just, if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because there's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought for real she was just decompressing somewhere. I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house was left there. But now it's just after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction, and it's freaking me out. On that night, I woke up early that morning, and I told her like the disconnection it's there, like it's not going away. Like the connection we had in the beginning. It's not there anymore. It's like, I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore.
Okay.
And it's just like, I don't feel like, I mean, if we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Brandon knows what you told her?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, having another baby bring us in this relationship, do you think this is going to work with us being together, or separation, I think, is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when, like, all the crying and everything proceeded, and it was very hard just to talk about that. But I needed to do it face to face.
Okay.
And I needed to see her face, like, while I did it. I couldn't text, phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face and be able to see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating back to me.
Oh, what did she say?
She said that she wanted to kind of work on it, but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Okay. 1 p.m. I'm now on my way home to check on my family. Is this because you're worried based on the conversation with Nicole? Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. I arrived. Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole said she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay. All right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole's pretty worried. More worried than you.
Well, so once she couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on in the house, I was like, all right, I gotta go home.
The sharp and sudden change of angle from baseline questioning to direct confrontation would normally make an innocent person refute or at least challenge the statement. There would also be a brief pause, as they would need time to process the allegation due to its perplexity. A guilty individual would already be in a defensive state of mind and would normally respond in a hastily modus. Instead of refuting the remark, they would accept it, but try and explain its actuality in a defensive manner.
But it sounds like Nicole was more worried.
Yeah, because like most of if she doesn't text me, like I understand that, like sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her direct sales group, that was very unorthodox.
Okay. So then they're at home. Police officers there. Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're all
Did you immediately go through the house?
I open the garage door and I just go into the house. I'm looking, like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute"?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, but I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Okay.
And then I go through, and then they're waiting at the front door. I go in, open that up, and then they come in.
Oh, so they didn't go in the garage door with you? Okay.
Well, they went in the garage. They didn't come in the way I did.
All right. So then everybody goes in.
I think that was at 4 o'clock. That's when, because the neighbor, I was the officer, I went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer, 'cause
Okay.
he just went over there. And then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night.
Okay.
To show him like whatever he had, and that put motion on it.
Okay. 4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage and question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that what we're okay?
That's where we're at.
Anything else about that?
No, I mean, it just shows Nicole dropping her off, but her not walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up at the time that I told you I left.
Okay. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about? So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage, and the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay? So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
Way to be cool with that.
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, it's like, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're gonna look at me. Especially with the way everything looks. And it honestly just makes me sick to my stomach, because this is something that I would never do. Ever. I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife. At all.
This is what is known as the pause technique. After the suspect answers a question, the interrogator will remain silent while maintaining eye contact. This physical demeanor gives off the subtle cue that he expects more information to be divulged and may already know more than the suspect realizes.
I'm not sure, like, what I could do, like, to make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically look at me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family at all. I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then she goes, we have no idea where she is, or the kids. But I promise you that I had nothing to do with any of that.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the absolute truth.
Why should I believe you?
A truthful individual will normally respond to this question with a question, such as, "Why are you asking me that?" or "What's going on here?" They will often protest the aggressive nature of the inquisition, or give a short and forceful response.
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is
Defensive siya
never be
masyado.
abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. I mean, you can talk to me, and you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, you can, like, if someone like yells at me, screams at me, I just take it, and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where, like, none of that gets to that height. Because I am not that person.
Abangan ng
I've
pagsagot
never
niya.
been that person.
Okay. Would you take a polygraph?
Sure.
Okay. Let's take a little break. I'm gonna come back in here, because I have a lot more questions for you. How you feeling?
Look at that picture.
Linda. Okay. Celeste, she's Rampage. She's always the one that's gung-ho. She's always the one that's just like, she's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's always she's a tiger. Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always, you okay? You okay? You fine? Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors Sinan more. I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago. And unbuttoned the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She's like, "No, Daddy, button. I got button. Bella loves those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She was a girly girl.
To part 2.
I'm gonna find them, right? I need your help. When we find the guy who took him, what do you think we should do?
This is what is known as a behavior-provoking question. An innocent person will usually give what is known as a draconian response. They will immediately respond with
niya?
the harshest sentence possible. This is
When we find the guy who took him, what do you think we should do?
Okay. So, tinanong siya kung makita natin yung lalaki o kung sino man kumuha sa kanila, anong gagawin ni Chris.
This is what is known as a behavior-provoking question. An innocent person will usually give what is known as a draconian response. They will immediately respond with the harshest sentence possible for the crime they are falsely being accused of committing. A deceptive individual will often give an equivocating response. This means that they will fragmentize and divert from the question to a certain degree as a means to avoid responding to the query in its entirety.
They're gonna come home safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're gonna come home.
Tinanggal niya yung safe.
Life in prison would be that's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them?
I'm not sure if like that penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure what is the death penalty.
Okay.
I mean, like if these kids are not alive, like there's nothing you could do to cope with that, to make me cope with that. If those kids are not okay.
Can we keep talking about some complicated things?
Sure.
Some things that are going to make you uncomfortable?
No, that's fine.
Okay. You've done very good in talking to me about this really hard conversation you guys had. Okay? Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position says, doesn't want to tell me about that. Because please go help me find my kids, and you don't need to know about my marriage argument. Okay? So I got to say, you've done very good at that. And I need you to keep doing that. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity. Okay, tell me about it.
I have never cheated on my wife.
Okay.
And I fully suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay.
The interrogator was already aware that Chris was cheating on his wife with a woman by the name of
Nakatakot naman
Nicole
to.
Kessinger. He had handed over his phone earlier on this interview for what he thought was for the purpose of going through his and his wife's mutual contacts to look for potential suspects. Judging by Chris's bold-faced denial, it's safe to assume he deleted all of his correspondence with Nicole beforehand. Yet he was most likely unaware that the FBI have programs that can recover every single piece of digital exchange sent from a device, even long after it's deleted.
Highly trained investigator over here, right? I see pictures of you from a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I see you standing before me now. Okay, you've got them pretty fit. Okay, you can imagine when guys start cheating or want to cheat, that's what happens.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
I did not cheat on my wife.
Okay, what do I do to help you walk out of this room and not look like the person who's responsible?
You have to trust me. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever has happened here. Because my love for these 2 girls and my wife, like I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. No matter if me and my wife separate or not, or divorce or anything, I never wish harm on anybody, on a human being in general.
Okay.
Like just seeing that picture.
Nasa ano na agad siya, negative thinking na siya na ano. So, guilty nga talaga.
Like, I need them, I want them just to run through that front
Hindi
door.
pwedeng nawala lang kung sakali, pero o kaya nilayasan lang siya, pero wala naman nangyari. Parang gano'n, di ba?
And just grab me, or just barrel, just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head, I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never gonna die. And I want them back.
Okay.
I have to have them back.
When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers that's going to convince them that you have nothing to do with this. You know what they think.
I know it all of it. Yeah.
Here's a guy who didn't call 911, who woke his wife wife up at a ridiculous hour because he was so guilty about something that he had to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Okay, so what happened?
She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why I didn't just wake her up, like, just to tell her this. Like, I woke her up. That's what she wanted to do, and we talked. Like, usually at 4 a.m., I wake up, I go down and work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this. I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. Like, you make kids, they come first before anything. Kids, spouse, family. That's what it's always been.
Nothing you've told me tonight makes sense. Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth. Can we start over? Sure. Tonight's been pretty intense, I can imagine. How are you feeling?
I slept like 2 hours last night, so I'm like running on empty right now, but
I can see it. So why don't I do this? I'm sure you don't mind if we take a break for the night. I'm sure that you are feeling some of the pressure from me. Okay? I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them.
okay.
Okay? And I want to commit to you that there is going to come a time when you're going to feel this pressure from other people. I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this.
Like another FBI agent, like pressure, or like just like
Everyone.
okay,
Everyone, Chris.
okay.
The interrogator is clearly receptive to Chris's anxiety and endeavors to amplify this emotion before ending the interview. He wants to inflate Chris's apprehension as much as possible for the looming polygraph test that approaches the following day.
Tonight when you go home, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired, okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go racing, okay? So tonight when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind, okay? This always happens, always. It's very natural. You're going to say, I don't know why he asked me that, okay? You're going to say, screw him, how dare he accuse me, okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this, okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something, or this, or that, okay? Those are the most common things. When those thoughts come to your head, I want you to call me. And those are beautiful kids. Those kids have a good dad, and I know it.
Let's just get a picture of someone's phone.
Yeah.
It's a better one, but it's just, I'm sorry too, but it's,
Those kids have a good dad.
The following discourse from the officer could be construed as the reframing technique, where an interrogator will try and shift the suspect's view of themselves from negative to positive, as a means to lightening the iniquity of their crimes and increasing the chances of a confession. However, this is more likely what is known as passive accusation, where the interrogator is almost certain of the suspect's guilt and indirectly accuses, and in some manner, indignifies the suspect. This is made evident by the high praises the officer gives to Chris for extremely trivial deeds.
A lot of dads don't get second pairs of clothes and cook eggs and give them snacks at night. You know, a lot of men, that's woman's work, right?
I don't like to get involved.
But you're not that kind of guy, okay? So can we say that tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
We can do a polygraph?
Here.
Here. I appreciate you coming in tonight.
Mhm.
All right, give me a few minutes. This is Tammy. Did you meet Tammy yesterday? No, okay. No, this is Tammy.
Great, how are you?
Sit on this?
Yep, I know, I'll explain what that is here in a little bit, but you don't have to worry, it's not on or anything right now, it's not gonna buzz you or anything. Obviously, you're probably nervous about taking
Ano
today's
na to?
test.
Second
Honestly, I think
interview na to.
something's wrong with you
Interrogation.
if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it was nerve-wracking. And I have taken tons of polygraphs, obviously in my training. I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that you had nothing to do with this disappearance. Like, we're going to find that out today, okay? I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing. That's the way I'm going to ask you the questions. So believe me, if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today.
This is psychological pressure disguised as reassurance. It's not a routine procedure
Galing nila
during the pre-test
mag-interrogate.
phase
Dito
of
lang dito sa
polygraphing.
Pilipinas, bugbog yata agad. Para umamin ka. Ewan ko lang, dig sure.
Exam. Yet this technique will be used when the suspect's guilt is almost conclusive. Polygraphs are not a foolproof system, and they can be beaten, but with a heightened state of anxiety, it becomes considerably more challenging and unlikely. On this occasion, the polygrapher distinctly applies this technique for maximal effect.
There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. You know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today, right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance, okay?
So yeah, everything flourished from there. Like in 2011, I proposed to her over in Ocean Isle Beach. And she was sitting there crying with a little eviction notice, and she recorded it. It was an amazing day to just see that. And then she left. I was there. Like, she had a midwife for this one, so like they actually had me like, "Oh, you can stand here and like, you know, catch her." Like, but Celeste came out like so fast that like I barely had a chance to go like this, and they moved me out of the way, and she just like came out.
The polygrapher will also obtain the examinee's version of the facts regarding the specific issues under investigation.
Like, I was just hoping that I would get that knock on the door or a phone call or a text. I mean, her phone, they have her phone. Like, hopefully, maybe it's a number I don't know. Hopefully, it's like, you know, like a burner phone or some kind of like phone she bought. So you could just text me and call me like, "Hey, I'm okay," something, or just get a knock on the door and then the kids just run in. I miss like the kids like sitting at the dinner table and like having to tell them to eat their dinner, and like I miss them throwing their chicken nuggets at me. Like, I just want to find them. I want them to come home safe. Like, wherever they are, I hope they are safe. And I really hope they can just come home. It makes me feel like, all right, maybe somebody has her that's not keeping her safe, or something terrible's happened. And that's the nightmare.
And what would that terrible thing be?
Somebody hurt them.
Chris recounts a brief summary of the events and states multiple vague possibilities for his family's disappearance. The polygrapher then starts to elect specific timelines for Chris to give his account on.
You said the next thing you know is her getting into bed with you, is that right?
I felt her get in bed. We didn't say anything because I just kind of felt it.
Okay. Do you know if she was on her phone or like how any of that works?
I don't think she was on her phone.
Was she mad at all?
I mean, crying like she was, crying like I was. I mean, yeah, I mean, she was upset, but I mean, it comes with that kind of conversation.
In the next moments, you will see another subterfuge of psychological pressure, this time disguised as routine questioning procedure.
And I know it's totally awful to think about, but what are ways, because I need to make sure that you know what I'm talking about, what are ways that you can make someone disappear?
I mean, like, if you're talking about like what I've seen like on the movies or how people, if you read about other people, I mean, you hire somebody.
Like a hitman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Nope, that's what I want. That's what I want. Because I want you to go through all of these scenarios in your head because I want you to know for sure what I'm talking about when I say that, asking you if you physically caused her disappearance.
Okay, like you would hire somebody or you have somebody that would do it. I mean, it's like, that's hard.
And I know this stuff.
That's a hard question to answer.
Right.
Because it had nothing to do with this disappearance.
Right.
So like, I don't even want to think about like, if you were asking me like how I would do it, like
anyone. Like
anyone
how would anyone cause someone else's disappearance?
I mean, you would. I said like.
You could cause someone's disappearance by murdering them.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So what different physical ways could you cause someone's disappearance through murder? You could stab someone,
Stab
right?
someone, shoot someone, hit them with a blunt object. What is there? I mean, use a weapon like gun or knife. I mean,
Okay.
you could.
You could smother someone.
Smother someone,
You could strangle someone.
hang someone. I mean, yeah, you can, all that kind of things. I mean, it's hard to even think about that kind of stuff right now.
Mhm. You could strangle someone. You could drown someone.
Yeah.
You could shock someone to death. You could burn someone alive. What other ways can you think of?
As far as like lure them into a trap, I guess.
So what do you mean? What?
Like, like have somebody waiting like around the corner and like,
Sure.
they're in a coma.
Sure. So if I ask you that question on the test, Chris, are you gonna have any issue with that? About you
Like-
physically causing
Going
someone's
through every single one of
disappearance?
those.
Yeah, like that would be a way you could cause someone's disappearance.
Okay. I can definitely I can pass. I mean,
Or you could murder them, you could kidnap them, you could take them to another country, you could, bury them in your backyard, you could do a million things
yeah,
as far as trying to conceal them,
yeah,
right? So that no one could find them.
yes,
Because at this point, she's gone. So when I ask you the question on the test, I'm not asking you about guilt. I'm not asking you about, did you make her feel so horrible that she ended up leaving? I'm saying that you were the one that physically caused her to disappear. Either by murder, kidnapping, all of those other things that we went through, okay?
You want me to list all those? Like
No. You're just going to say no to that question.
Okay.
Right. When I ask you if you physically caused Shanann's disappearance,
Okay.
your answer should be what?
No.
Right. So do you have any issues with that at all? And
No.
have
Ang
any
galing
question
ng
about what I
mga
would
dito.
do when I was
No,
would be
that's
asking
totally.
this
I just like going through all those. That's a lot to really think about.
Right.
Like
That's-
trying to figure out that was.
Huling-huli na si Chris.
I'm going to have you take a bathroom break.
Thank
We've been
you.
in here quite a while. You're going to be taking what's called a directed lie polygraph. So what that means is there are going to be questions on the test where I want you to lie. I know it seems kind of weird, but you're going to know which questions these are, and they're going to be easy to answer. They're all going to start with before 2018.
The directed lie test has 3 types of questions. Known truth questions. These are easy questions to answer, such as, are you sitting down? Or, are you wearing shoes? They serve 2 purposes. The first purpose is to provide a baseline reading for when the subject is telling the truth, and should elicit very little bodily responses. The second purpose is to disconnect the examinee's thought patterns between each question as a means for resetting their cerebration for a more accurate reading. Control questions. These are what the polygrapher just explained to Chris. Whenever she says, before 2018, at the start of a question, Chris will know he is purposely supposed to lie. Each of these questions are deliberately constructed that all answers will be responded with no. Relevant questions. These relate specifically to the crime being investigated, and the examinee will know that they are are supposed to respond truthfully. A guilty subject will show a much stronger reaction to the relevant questions than to the control questions, even though they will be lying on both of them. This is due to the immediate threat posed by the relevant questions.
So I'm going to say before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about? And you're going to say,
No.
because you're telling a
Lie.
Awesome. The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Did you write the number 1?
No.
Did you write the number 3?
No.
Did you write the number 5?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. You can relax. How do you feel?
This is the last time the polygrapher will have any correspondence with Chris before the real test begins. She gives him an initial compliment in a reassuring tone.
You did great. You remembered to lie and everything. That was awesome.
This momentary boost in his confidence is then abruptly ripped away as he receives the following information.
So, you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell a lie, like, they can tell, like, on your face that... Because the second you lied to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I like, turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So, that is what I need to see as a polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie. And you're actually having a significant reaction when you lie, so that is awesome. So thank you for being a horrible liar. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a horrible liar. And that just shows me that, you know, obviously on the test when they're asking, you know, significant stuff about your wife, if you're lying to that, it's going to be even 10 times more amplified. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, more than you know. So that was awesome. And the coolest thing about this is right now, there's only one person in this room that knows what the truth is. And in about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us. So that's the coolest part, okay? And then I can go share that with them out there. Okay? All right, you ready?
Do it.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. All right, how'd you feel? Same with all of it?
I think it was the same to everything.
For ya. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I didn't forget part of it, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise. Because I know stuff. It's time.
Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest.
Everything that I have told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now, like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive, so that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste.
The following tactic is called the futility technique, a building block to induce a sense in a suspect that any resistance on behalf of their cause is futile due to the overwhelming evidence against them. This was obviously not the case, as polygraphs are not admissible evidence, and Chris was in fact still free to leave at this point.
That's the issue right now.
Great.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
I've,
I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like,
Okay.
I'm not, like, trying to, like, cover things up, like...
Yeah, but you kind of are, because it's normal. Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that, and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay. You're lying to him. You lied to everyone you talked to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone.
Can you understand that some of this just doesn't make sense to us? How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls. And you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds and I start to go panic. Oh. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do any of this because I haven't shed a tear. You get
No, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my kids.
Tell me, explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her,
Yeah.
but you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
In the next moments, you will see step 7 of the Reed interrogation technique known as the alternative question, where the suspect is given an alternative and far more morally acceptable choice for what happened.
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, 'cause they didn't leave the house.
Did
Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were there.
The only way they could have left is in your truck.
Did Shanann do something?
Something happened in the house that you know about. We know that something happened to all three of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before you came in, I was watching videos. Can I talk to my dad or something?
Absolutely.
Come.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just need to talk to my dad. Like, he flew across the country.
Hey, Chris,
I can't.
how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
You need to realize that your dad is not gonna stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child. And he will not stop loving you.
There.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay. Hey, Chris, we're gonna let you have, however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You gonna leave us in there or no?
Yes. What's going on here?
And it's, polygraph. Failed it.
Failed it.
There, because there's
Too much emotions.
it's
Anything else you want to tell me, what's going on, or what happened, or anything, if you know anything about?
when we had that conversation that morning. It was emotional and told her about separation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya yung tatay ni Chris.
What happened after that?
I'm helping downstairs. I don't want to protect her.
What?
I don't want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her?
I don't know what else to say.
She hurt him?
And well, no, not her.
You hurt her?
One,
She's smothered? Or choking?
Shit.
I didn't.
Umami na siya. Hindi niya ba alam na may CCTV dyan? Baka hindi.
So it came back up. They were calling.
Shit.
Talk her.
Aray ko. So, pinapalabas niya si Shanann, yung pumatay doon sa dalawang bata. Ito naman si Chris, pinatay ni Shanann. Ay, grabe. Grabe naman.
About separation and everything, about Jamal. I don't know, like, what else to say, like, I freaked out. Wasn't like it. I heard like a little commotion upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it.
And then you went back upstairs and she was,
Then I could see, like, she was went up.
what, choking after that? Did she kill him?
They're blue.
Both of them?
Yeah.
She took both of them at that.
I freaked out when she hit me.
Hindi siya papaniwalaan ng mga pulis dyan. Hindi siya papaniwalaan dyan. Kahit sabihin mo totoo ginawa ni Shannon yan, pero malabo eh. Pati dadamay mo yung bata sa ano, diba? Sa separation ng mag-asawa. Ay,
Yeah, I'm like, order. See. Like the range.
Less than 10 seconds after the mention of the word lawyer, the detectives re-enter the room and immediately reinforce Chris with non-verbal empathic communication. They immediately divert Chris's attention from the well-informed advice of his father to their own appreciative reception of his contemporary admittance.
Chris, help us work through this with you, okay? Will you tell us what you told your dad?
She was never on top of her. Freaked out. I ran in there and got on top of her.
What'd you do?
Blue. I was my babies. I was my kids.
What happened?
Been there.
Shannon pala, Shannon.
Yeah.
Although not the full avowal they are pursuing, Chris has still confessed partly to the crimes, and they now have one foot in the door. He is no longer free to leave. The interrogation now returns to a non-suggestive process, where the detectives will collect further information, where they will not contaminate with excessive or direct input.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm shaking. Both my kids are blue and they're gone. So horrible for what I did. You know what to do.
I think the hard part, we left to tell us where they're at.
You have to get them out of the cold. At that first location I went to that day. I don't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know what to fucking do. Like, none of this made sense. Why would she hurt my fucking girls? I'm sorry.
I know you are. I know you came in today to do the right thing. So where'd you put them? Get them out there.
In the truck.
Did Shannon fight back at all? You get that?
The rage that I had after seeing that, not much. I didn't know what else to do.
I know, there's something to do. I know.
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
It's like, no, I just did this, I just did that. What do I do?
Right.
You're in a tough spot. What can you do, right?
Your body just kind of takes over and
What's gonna happen? We're gonna help them get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies, and you're still their dad.
you don't want to hurt her.
I don't want to hurt her.
You don't want to hurt her.
Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies, and you're still their dad.
You don't want to hurt her.
I don't want to hurt her.
And you don't want someone else to find that out there. You don't, I promise you. You give us a second so we can kind of get some things arranged. You do that?
What the fuck is this? This is just fucking horrible. I've always said she was an unstable person, but I never thought that in a million years that could happen. She just lost it. Why is that happening? Well, why did this happen to two little girls? I don't know, but
This ain't gonna be on the news anytime soon, or is it?
No, not tonight. Whereabouts? The Shanann and the girls. Is that S for Shanann? Okay, and where are the girls at? In these? So, how did you do this out? I'm assuming that's under third. How did you take that?
So it sounds like, I mean, it feels like to me, now we know pretty well how to go get them. Is there anything else we need to know?
Do you think of that, Chris?
Let my family down. Let my dad down, let my mom, sister, nephew, nieces, friends, co-workers.
Can I ask you another tough question? You just get it all on the table. When you see Shanann choking, strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, do you think about calling an ambulance?
I see you in their blue and limp. I've never seen something like that in my life. I mean, she just like lay over, like nothing wasn't moving at all, no gasp of breath. Just totally just blue.
After the baseline information of Chris's version of events is gathered, he is now locked into an alibi and timeline of affairs that forensics will subsequently examine and dissect in ways so they can use it against him. The tone of the interrogation then reverts back from information gathering to a confrontational nature.
So, Chris, you're doing this job for a long time.
No.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as like what people are thinking, and most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, stiff like been dead all night, they still call an ambulance to see if someone can revive their child. And when the ambulance gets there, they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, like there's nothing we can do. And the parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? So that's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me like what was going on in your head and
The rage I felt for what she did, it just took over.
I would hate for Shanann to get a bad rap if she didn't have anything to do with it. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair.
There is no technical term for this approach, yet it's a clear attempt by the detective to interconnect to the suspect's sense of morality, which is always under the assumption that they have any.
Like enough bad stuff is happening, but like we need to stop the bad stuff from happening. So we're telling the truth.
That is true.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yeah, because I did not hurt these girls. Chris, I'm not sure what to do.
Are you sure Shanann didn't touch you or anything like
No,
that?
my God, no. Don't get mad. But what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life. And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home, and then killed Shanann. That's what we're kind of left, that's what we have to believe, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, to her point, if I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right? So
Knowing there's no hope.
it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So either you're this monster, you know, I just want this young hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster, I'm not a monster. So what's going to happen when their cause of death comes back to you? Or the girl's not going to? Okay. You sure? I'm 100% positive it's not going to come back to me. And what happens when a coroner looks and said, "Sees your fingerprints on her neck." Not gonna be my fingerprints. Okay. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be Shanann. Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. There was, my 2 babies were gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah. It did look bad, right?
And it looked, I mean, this was a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday when you were talking, and again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking, you said, "I don't know where they are, I don't know where they are," and then you said something along the lines of, "Whatever happened to them is active pure evil." What does that mean?
It's this, the evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of CC. And then I felt evil for what I did to Shanann.
Okay. So after we look at their bodies, we're gonna have a lot more questions. Things are gonna be different then, but if you're willing, we'd love to talk to you then too. Now that we know what we know, we're going to, I need to check that you don't have any weapons on you or anything like that. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. We'll do that. We'll go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna go in the stall with you, but I'm gonna go with you. And then we'll come right back here and we'll make a decision about how the rest of the night goes. All right, so you might stand in a second check.
This interrogation was a true testimony of how mental fatigue can restructure an individual's cognitive rationale. Chris maintained his innocence even after the failed polygraph, and if he had kept that stance, he would have walked out of that police department as a free man for at least another night. Yet, after a prolonged state of isolation, anxiety, and fear, coupled with the cerebral influencing tactics of the interrogators, the alleviation of getting out of that situation was in that moment perceived as enough of a luxury to exchange his freedom for it.
Chris, don't stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall. Lift up your hands.
Okay guys, thank you. Thank you so much pagsama. Medyo mahaba lang yung video natin ngayon pero grabe pinatay niya yung 3 asawa niya tsaka 2 anak. Pati yung 15 weeks na buntis, di ba? Buntis pa yung asawa niya. Hirap i-take nun, grabe. Hindi na siya makakalis ng kulungan, walang parol. Di ba? So, doon na siya mamamatay. Grabe yung ginawa niya. Okay, maraming salamat po and see you sa next video. Thank you.